Hello and welcome back to the Lander98 channel. Today we have a new episode of Body Wars coming to you live from the brand new apartment that I live in now. So, we are not at the father's house anymore. We are living on our own and we are exploring that terrain that we now live on in this video. So, today we have 3 off-road ready coupes that you might find familiar from the Gran Turismo series, particularly number 4. The one Mitsubishi that we have is a little bit of a stretch. It's 2 brothers are in there, not the one itself. So yeah, we might be a little incorrect there. However, what we're doing is we're taking a very old, at least first gen, Mini Z Overland 2-wheel drive on a treacherous course, and there will be 2 of them, which we'll talk about later. In this demonstration that we have today, 2 of the 3 bodies that we have are considered 3D printed. However, with my girlfriend and I's new business that we're trying to start up, we're going to list them as that for now. So we have 1 OEM Kyosho Mini Z body and 2 L&R Racing and Stitching 3D printed bodies. We'll see which one comes out better on top and which ones lag behind. Some have good areas and some have bad. And this right here is the chassis that we'll be running. This is a first gen Kyosho Mini Z Overland, and it is rather old. Old enough that it still uses the chip system, so it is a roughly 2004-2005 model. It doesn't have the original controller or chip in it. That didn't come with it when I bought it on eBay. However, the tires are old as well. They don't feel grippy at all, and they're not old enough to have rips in them, but they probably would if they were attempted to be taken off. The suspension on these is rather interesting. While each wheel doesn't have its own spring, more so the entire component does. It is also rear-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive, making this a rather difficult vehicle to actually do off-road. So that is why on the original description for these vehicles, you go cross-country in your own home, not outside. But we're going to take it outside. And now we'll begin to get into the chassis technical data. The current setup is a 94mm super short. While super short might not be the actual term used for that, it is the shortest possible setting that this can be at. And the sizes range from 94mm all the way up to 106mm, just by counting the rungs to where you can hook the chassis at. Due to this, the original body being the Mitsubishi Pajero, it has no need to be any longer than it currently is, so our 3 other bodies will work just fine. The chassis' current weight is 180 grams, which is a bit of a heavy weight for a 2-wheel drive. However, with how bulky it is, it's pretty good. From a designing standpoint for making bodies on it, the front suspension housing is very annoying. That is where the cowl for the hood tends to go at, and bodies tend to run into it. So making a body have monster truck-like height is very required in order to make anything fit. Luckily, the Mitsubishi has a high hood, so it fits just fine. First up is the Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. This is a rally raid truck that ran in the early 2000s rally raid event. It is 49 grams with a weight distribution of 20 grams in the front and 29 grams in the rear. This is the heaviest vehicle here, and it has the right to be so. The inside is very thick with supports that actually hold the body on the side. So Mini Z did a very good job at having this thing mounted. It is very tight though, so it is a bit of a pain. As mentioned before, this is an OEM Kyosho Mini Z auto scale body and is 94mm in wheelbase length. The next vehicle that is up is the 2002 Toyota RSC Concept. Surprisingly, after we show off the heaviest vehicle, we have the lightest vehicle with 41 grams at a 21 front, 20 rear gram weight distribution. Being the lightest, this car will have the hardest time putting down traction, and having a heavier front end as opposed to the rear will not make that any better. This is an L&R body that I've printed, as well as designed on Blender. It is resin printed, so that it has the highest quality that it can. It also has clear windows. However, they are a bit foggy due to resin not exactly laying flat. It still works as it should, as the transponder light can still shine through. Our last vehicle, the 2004 Range Rover Stormer Concept. This is the middleweight at 46 grams with a 21 front, 26 rear weight distribution. While the front end weighs just as much as the RSC, the rear end is 6 grams heavier. Might not seem like much, but on an already light vehicle, at least in comparison to anything else, it's a decent weight advantage. Now, this car, the hand painting didn't go very well. The clear coat that I used, it takes a long time to dry, so everything cracked when I put it on, as the paint is still probably not cured as to the editing of this video. But it should still be fine for now. And this is where we compare the body sizes together. And it's no surprise where we find out where the weight comes from. The RSA is obviously the shortest, with the Range Rover coming next. However, the Mitsubishi is huge in height compared to both the other vehicles. This is probably due to my designs stretching to fit to the chassis while keeping scale correct, while the Mitsubishi is probably more scale length as to where the height is scale as well, and it's just a taller vehicle. The Mitsubishi is also the shortest one, surprisingly, so that's going to be a weird combo. The Range Rover is the longest, however, so the RSC is in the center for this time. Time to find out the top speed of the chassis here, and it comes to about 14 kilograms. Did I just say kilograms? I meant kilometers. While that's not very fast, especially for the height of the wheels, this is definitely designed to be a torquey chassis, and it certainly shows when it comes to crawling through deep carpet and the dirt that we're about to go through. We have 2 courses that we'll be taking part in. We'll have the front lawn, to where it is a long, strenuous path with checkpoints for where we need to get by without getting stuck, and then the backyard, where we have a steep 40-degree angle that we need to climb. It is very difficult, so it should be challenging. Come on, I gotta try. Yes! You're out, bro. That's not a stuck, because I got out.
Official. Come on. Keep going, keep going. Oh, I see what. Stop going. Oh, I'm trying to do a gig from anything from the bottom. Hard. I'm just gonna tumble. Oh! No, that's not where it's at.
And so, that comes to the end of this episode of Body Wars. It's rather clear who the winner is, and that is the Mitsubishi Pajero. While it didn't get stuck at all on the front lawn, it took only 2 attempts to climb the 25-degree hill. Second place is the Range Rover. While it did have trouble in the front lawn, it didn't take too long for it to get up the back lawn either. So it has a total of 6 points. So taking into the account of how golf is played, lower points equals the winner. Sadly for the RSC, while it was struggling a lot more than the other cars, it was able to get itself unstuck the most. However, it showed in the back lawn to where it struggled to climb that hill due to its light rear end compared to everyone else. So, in conclusion, with the Mini Z Overland, more weight in the rear is better. So, until the next time, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.